Oh yes, my friends, it's new wheels day, and for £826, can these updated versions of the Superteam all carbon H2 series impress me? I'm of course going to be comparing them to my Roval Rapides over here, and they've got a lot to live up to. Full disclosure, as with most of these Chinese brand stuff, they did send them to me for free. Let's get these things out of the box and I'm going to go over the specs. Well, they seem to come packaged neatly enough and protected just about enough. Well, I'll be honest, I actually think they look a little bit better in person than they do on the website. These shark fins are a little bit less obvious. Don't need all that stuff. Yeah, I must say, I'm kind of impressed. They've got some nice wide width on there, and they do come spec'd with this rim tape pre-installed. It's not like a tubeless rim tape, you know, you can get your fingers under there and take it off. It's I think it's more for tubes, that one. You'll probably need to buy some separate rim tape if you want to go tubeless. It does also come with some spare goodies, a 10-speed spacer if you're still running 10-speed. I know some of you are, and 2 spare spokes, which is always good, and that's it really. Okay, let's see if I can remember all the specs here. First of all, they've gone a wider internal. They've gone from 21 to 23mm internal, much more modern. External as well, they've gone from 28 to a 30mm external width. Rim depth has been kept the same at 50mm. The free hub has gone from a 36 to a 54.2, so you've got a shorter engagement time. Titanium spoke nipples to save a little bit of weight. Ceramic bearings, lighter spokes, lighter hub, which add up to 100 grams lighter than the previous version overall, all whilst being wider. It says it's about 1290 grams plus or minus 15. I've got these weighed in at 16 grams, but that is with the rim tape in there. They are also hooked rims, so none of those worries about hookless and blowouts. Finally, that comes with a 3-year warranty on the hoops and the spokes, but the hub only has a 1-year warranty. Whew. There's all the specs. One thing I would like to see on here is a small cassette guard. This is actually a recommendation from Oz Cycles on his video, because this is an aluminium free hub body, which means that your cassette will bite into it. So it'd just be nice to have that metal strip there to make sure that that doesn't happen. The wheels come with a DT Swiss style ratchet here. You know, very simple. Now that the pattern's worn out, everyone's doing this, and it kind of is the best way to make a free hub body, in my opinion. And it does come nicely greased in there as well, so should protect from the water. Don't need to do that. One annoying thing that Superteam do that it seems most Chinese brands do is they don't remove old models from their website. You need to make sure if you want the new one, you're buying the 30-50 one. The old one is a 28-50, and that's referring to the rim depth and the external rim width of the wheel there. But yeah, you just need to clean up the website, put the old ones on sale, get rid of them all, and just keep the new ones on there. There's too much mess, all of them. So yeah, we got all of those specs for 826 quid is what it is currently on the website. It seems to be changing a little bit, so I don't know what it will be when this video goes out. Let's get some disc brakes, some tires, and the cassette on here, and we'll be ready to roll. I'm going to be pairing these wheels with these bad boys, the Pirelli P0 Race TLR version RS in 30mm wide. I wanted a little bit of chunk on there to see how the wider tires look on there. Now, if you watched my previous video where I tested the wet versions of these over winter, I was actually quite impressed with the grip. So I want to see if these are nice and grippy and if they feel as good as the Vittorias or the Continentals over there. Finally, the other reason I chose these is because they do actually have a very fast or low rolling resistance. One downside to them is they are super heavy. I've got one tire in at 308 grams and one at 306. Most tires at 30mm are about 280, 290 for the tubeless version. So here is what the wheel looks like with a 28mm Vittoria Corsa Pro. So in my eyes, that fit looks absolutely perfect. It's like it was designed for a 28. And if I measure the width there, that seems to be coming in at bang on 30mm. Here's what it's like the Continental GP5000s. I've just got the normal ones. These are an old used pair of tires, but the STRs and the TTTRs seem to measure about exactly the same. So as you can see, it's kind of just very slightly more plump, sticks out a smidge more than the Vittorias over the edges there, but I would still once again say that the 28mm is about perfect. And the actual tyre measures at, so yeah, about 0.4mm wider than the Vittorias there. Let's get these guys on. Well, here we are, the Pirelli's on. I'm quite liking the black look at the moment, and the yellow Pirelli looks fairly nice on here. You can see that it is, you know, very slightly mushroomed. I think on the front wheel, a 28 would be optimal, but on the rear wheel here, a 30 is perfect. I've got double 30 now, so I'm going to use them both. It does measure at 32.47.4, which is kind of the extra internal rim width space that's already in there, so it kind of makes sense. But it looks nice and plump, it should be good. Oh, and I've put some click valves on. If you don't know what these are, guys, I'm going to link a video, or 2 videos even, down below. They are like my favorite thing in the world at the moment. If you've watched my channel before, these wheels are supposed to be going on my Seeker Spear, but the handlebars and the seat posts still haven't arrived. It's been 2 months and a week, 9 weeks. It's just taking forever. So it's going on the tarmac. One thing I have done is I have spent some time pre-balancing these wheels. I watched GCN's video and I thought, why not? Let's give it a try. I'm going to the Dolomites in 2 weeks, so there'll be some fast, smooth descents where I might be able to feel it. I'm going to be pairing them with the Galfa rotors because they're what I've got. I quite like them. They don't do as well for heavier guys like me, but they do more than well enough. Like, just don't hold the brakes for more than 10 seconds and they won't fade. Cassette swapped over. Look at how these guys look on the bike. Well, if you ask me, that is looking badass. Let me take it off the stand so you can see it. But first, with the previous row valves on here, here is the weight. It comes in at just over 7.3 kilos. Let's weigh this one in. Okay, get the scale set. 6.29, so it's kind of only like 50 grams lighter-ish, but totally fine by me. Still looks cool. There it is, just in case you couldn't see it. Well guys, there it is on. I think that is actually looking fantastic. On the color of this frame, I do prefer the tan hoops, but tires aside, yeah, I think they are looking really, really cool. They definitely have a zip vibe to them with the sawtooth and all the texture on the wheel and stuff like that. But I just think it looks really good. But they do have white decals if you want more of a race team look, and kind of like a glossy special edition one. But these are my favorites. Okay, let's get out on the bike and see how these wheels actually perform. By the way, this is just going to be a first ride kind of impressions. It's not going to be a full review. That'll come in like a month or 2 when I've had some time on the wheels. Comfort-wise on the bike, let's start with that. The wheels seem to be doing well, and in a way that they're pretty good for a carbon spoke. I would say that the wider tyre on here is negating the fact that it is a carbon spoke. I do think actually the steel spokes are just a smidge more comfortable. So if you're running a 30 on a carbon spoke, it's like running a 28 on a steel spoke. So I'm glad I've got the extra width. Well, I've just given it hell up that climb. It's like a 9.5, 10-minute effort, 330 watts, killing me. But the wheels, I mean, they climb like any other top end wheel does. Like if you get out of the saddle, they feel like they have the snap, you know? They can pull hard and quickly. Yeah, just have that sharpness to them, that responsive feeling to them. Because they got a slightly heavier tyre on than I'm used to, they, I feel like it was dulled a smidge. It's like a 9 out of 10 kind of quality. But I reckon the lighter tyre on there, they'll feel top notch again. I think they compete with any wheel on a climb. Speed wise, the bike feels very normal. You know, I'm hitting all the same speeds as I was with my other wheels, road valves, so I normally just about tickle 70 k's an hour down the hill and I hit the same speed now. So speed, yeah, seems to be good. In regards to the speed, Pete Torp made a video, I think it's like 2 years ago now, where he was just testing so many like 50mm deep wheels, and he was kind of finding they're all the same speed really. And well, confirms the same with this. It feels exactly the same as every other 50mm deep wheel in a good way. The bike handling has been really good. Once again, as you would expect a top end wheel to handle, so I have no complaints there. Just easy enough to tip in, and I feel confident going around corners with them. Obviously, a lot of that's down to the tyres. So, you know, this is the UK, so there are always potholes to dodge halfway around the corner. So yeah, the wheels felt like they responded really well to that. Of course, the bike geometry and the tyres play a lot of role in that as well. Well, the price is pretty damn good for these. £826 in the UK. That's just so hard to beat. Like I said, they feel almost exactly like my Roval wheels. They respond like them, they feel like them, they roll like them. And for that price, it's hard to beat. I mean, if you question it, why it's so cheap, I mean, they suggest it's because they own their own factory. They've been making other wheels for other brands for a long time, so they've got the experience. And well, direct to consumer as well. So I think all of that really, really helps keep the costs down. They did actually give me a discount code for you guys, which is unbox5. There's no kickback for me or anything. It's literally just a discount code if you want to buy them, and just lets them know that you came through me. Obviously, longevity is really hard to say right now. I've only just got the wheels and done my first ride, but I'll be talking about it in my long-term review if anything comes up. Of course, they do have the warranty, which is pretty good. The shark fin pattern on here, I'll let you guys make up your mind on whether you like it or not. I think it's subtle enough that it doesn't bother me so much.
I absolutely love the style of these wheels. I love the wave, and I personally really love the shark fin.
They are supposed to make the wheel a little bit faster. Now, they haven't posted data on their website, so does it? Don't know. The spokes are actually a really nice depth, and they're thin and bladed, which is what you would expect from a top-end wheel, but they don't have that really thick depth. I actually like a skinnier, shallower spoke like this, so I think they keep it looking a little bit tidier. They don't have that thickness to them. Even if you go from a front-on view, it's probably really hard to tell, but yeah, they're very bladed, very, very thin, knife-like on the front. Guys, if you have any further questions or things that you think I've missed, feel free to chuck them in the comments down below. Alternatively, you can find me over here on Instagram, and I'll reply to pretty much everything. But I've been Jason, this has been Cycling Unboxed. See you in another video.